morning. This is Singh Thakur, Assistant Professor, Electrical Engineering Department, Chandigarh Polytechnic College, Gurgaon. Before starting this lecture, in the previous lecture, we are discussing about the three-phase induction motor introductory part and the construction of three-phase induction motor and principle of operation of three-phase induction motor, types of three-phase induction motor on the basis of rotor design and the slip. In the previous lecture, we are discussing about that. Now, in this lecture, we are discussing about how the speed of three-phase induction motor at different levels. Okay. For example, first this is, if we consider this is stator body. As we know, the stator body is the stationary part. Therefore, the speed of the stator body is 0 RPM. After stator body, when we give three-phase supply to the stator of the induction motor, a three-phase rotating magnetic field can be produced, which can be created at a speed ns. Okay. After that, this is stator flux, which rotates at a speed ns. Ns is nothing but 120 F upon P. F is the frequency of the supply and P is the number of poles. Whether it is the number of poles may depend upon whether it is single phase or the three-phase motor. Next, after stator flux, then there is the rotor flux. The rotor flux also rotates at a speed of same speed as stator flux rotates, RPM, ns RPM, which is given by 120 F upon P. After that, there is the rotor body. Rotor body. The rotor body always rotates at a speed n, which is less than the synchronous speed. The rotor body speed is n RPM. The rotor speed of the rotor body is nothing but the speed of the shaft. This is the mechanical shaft speed. You can also say that it mechanical shaft speed. Okay, these are the different levels at which I told you about stator body speed, stator flux speed, rotor flux speed, and the rotor body. Remember always this shaft speed and n is the shaft speed. This shaft speed is always less than the synchronous speed. This synchronous speed is nothing but the speed of rotating magnetic field, which is formed in the stator winding. Now, if we talk about its relative motion. Relative motion is nothing but the motion in the same direction. For example, if there are two persons, if they are moving in the same direction, then we can say that then we can calculate their relative speed. If we can talk about first is relative speed between stator flux and stator body. How we can calculate relative speed? The relative speed is nothing but the ns minus 0. It gives you ns. Relative speed between stator flux and the stator body is ns minus 0, that is equal to ns. Second is, if we're talking about what is the relative speed between stator flux and the rotor flux. The stator flux speed is ns and the rotor speed flux is also ns. And if we talking about a relative speed of stator flux and rotor flux, that is equal to 0 RPM. Okay, and next is relative speed between. Third one is, if we're talking about relative speed between rotor flux and the rotor body. And what is the relative speed between rotor flux and rotor body? This is nothing but the ns minus n. Here the rotor flux speed is ns, and the rotor body speed is n. If we subtract ns from n, then it gives the relative speed between rotor flux and the rotor body. And this ns minus n is nothing but the slip. As we discussed in the earlier lecture, in the previous lecture, slip is nothing but the difference between the synchronous speed and the motor speed. Synchronous speed is the speed of the rotating magnetic field, which is formed in the stator, and n is the mechanical shaft speed of the rotor. Okay, and this is the different levels at which we can see the relative speed. Now next is how this why this speed n is less than ns, because the induction motor never runs at synchronous speed. That is, this n is always less than the ns. Why this n is always less than the ns? If we can say, for example, if we can say this rotor speed is also same as the shaft speed is also same as the synchronous speed of the motor, then what will happen? Then what will be the effect on the slip? We know that slip is nothing but the synchronous speed minus shaft speed. N is the shaft speed. If this shaft speed is same as the synchronous speed, then what will happen? This slip is equal to 0. If slip is equal to 0, then this condition is that condition when the rotor of the induction motor never rotates, and when the rotor of the induction motor never rotates, then there is no magnetic field cut between the rotor and the stator. Hence, the EMF induced is 0, and also the current induced is 0. Therefore, the torque acts on the motor is 0. This is the condition. When if induction motor runs at synchronous speed, the motor speed falls below this synchronous speed, slightly falls below this synchronous speed, that is n speed. The magnetic field of the stator cuts the rotor magnetic field, stator magnetic field, and the rotor magnetic due to the interaction between the stator magnetic field and the rotor magnetic field, a torque is induced in the motor. This torque is given by K into BR into BS. K is here. This tau is induced torque. This is formed when the rotor magnetic field interacts with the stator magnetic field. The induced torque will be formed, and this is given by K into BR into BS. K is constant of proportionality, BR is rotor magnetic flux densities, and BS is stator magnetic flux densities. Okay, this is the torque induced in the induction motor. Okay, the now next is why this speed ns is equal to 120 f upon p. Now the next question is how this rotating magnetic field ns is equal to 120 f upon p. How this relation comes from. Let us discuss about that. Now next is how this speed ns is equal to 120 f upon p. How this relation comes? Now discuss about that. For driving this relation, firstly we consider the single phase induction motor, because in single phase induction motor, one phase and one neutral is present. Okay, let us consider the single phase induction motor. Here, this is the poles of the stator. Here is north pole, this is south pole. For more magnetic field, we can make winding on the poles of the stator. Why we taken two poles? Because this is a single phase induction motor. Okay, for single phase induction motor, the number of poles in the stator is 2, and pole pair is 1 pp. And how we can calculate pole pair? Pole pair is nothing but pp is equal to p upon 2, number of poles divided by 2. If we are talking about the single phase, here the number of poles is 2. Here put number of poles 2. This is equal to 2 upon 2, and pole pair is equal to 1. Okay. As I discussed earlier, here pole pair is equal to 1. This is north pole, this is south pole. Pole pair is nothing but the number of poles divided by 2. Here the number of poles is 2. If we put 2, then 2 divided by 2, that is 1. This is one pole pair. And for 3 phase, the number of poles is equal to 6. As we know that pole pair is nothing but a p upon 2. Here put the value of p, that is 6. 2 upon 6, that is pole pair is equal to 3. As you see, in single phase induction motor, the pole pair is equal to 1, and in 3 phase induction motor, pole pair is equal to 3. Let us consider the example of single phase induction motor. This is a stator of induction motor. This is the poles, and we make the windings on the poles for more magnetic field. Here is the rotor. Okay. The connection of this winding, the stator winding, is that at one side there is a phase terminal IR, and at one side there is a neutral. Okay. Let us draw the waveform of this single phase voltage or current. This is IR phase. This is here 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, and 360 degree. Here it represents the time period. T is equal to 1 upon f. Time period is nothing but the number of cycles per second. Okay, and time period is nothing but the number of cycles per second, and frequency is the reciprocal of the time period. Okay. Now, when we give 3-phase supply to this induction motor, when we give a single phase supply to the stator of induction motor, a rotating magnetic field is produced. Okay. Here from this waveform, you see that 360 degree is equivalent to T is equal to 1 upon f. This cycle completes at 360 degree, and time is the reciprocal of 1 upon f. This is equivalent to T is equal to 1 upon f. You can also say this 360 degree. You can also say this 360 degree is nothing but the 1 revolution. 360 degree, or you can write 360 degree or the 1 revolution, that is equal to T is equal to 1 upon f. If we rearrange this equation, that is 1 upon f second. as we know, the unit of time is second. If we rearrange this, 1 upon f second is nothing but the 1 revolution. Now cross multiply this f to right hand side. Now 1 second is equal to 60 revolution. Sorry, 1 second is equivalent to f revolution. If we calculate it for 60 seconds, multiply 60 on both sides, is 60 f revolution. 1 second, 60 seconds is nothing but the 1 minute. 60 seconds or the 1 minute. That is equal to that is equivalent to 60 f revolution. This 1 minute is nothing but the speed. This is the synchronous speed of the rotating magnetic field. This is equivalent to 60 f. As we know, the speed has unit revolution per minute. Here is revolution. If we divide this minute on right hand side, on the denominator part of right hand side, it will give the revolution per minute, which is nothing but the synchronous speed. Here, this is the relation for ns is equal to 60 f. Here the relation comes, ns is equal to 60 f. Now for single phase, they are one pole pair. Okay. Now where this speed is formed, this speed is formed in the winding of the stator. Now we have to also consider that pole pair. When we consider the pole pair, then this ns is equal to 60 f upon pp, pole pair. This is the complete expression for this ns is equal to 120 f upon p. Now for single phase, as we discussed earlier, the pole pair is equal to 1. Okay, pole pair is nothing but the number of poles divided by 2. There is one pole pair, that is north and south. One pole pair is formed from north and south pole. Okay. Now if we calculate number of poles from here, then p is equal to 2. Okay. Now put this value of pole pair. Pole pair is equal to p upon 2. Then this ns is equal to 60 f upon pp. pp is nothing but the number of poles divided by 2. Then this 2 comes in numerator part. ns is equal to 120 f upon p. Now this is the final expression for speed of rotating magnetic field, which produced in the stator winding and rotates at speed ns is equal to 120 f upon p. This is the final expression for the how we can calculate speed of rotating magnetic field. This is the expression. Now here the main question is also asked in the examination. Why we know that the 3-phase induction motor are self-starting and single phase induction motor are not self-starting. Self-starting means the motor do not need any external device to starting condition. But now the question is that how single phase induction motor are not why single phase induction motor are not self-starting. Let us consider the single phase induction motor again. When we give because the question is why single phase induction motor are not self-starting. When we gave single phase supply to this the stator of the induction motor, the magnetic field formed is here is north pole, here is south. This is north, this is south. When we gave 1/2 supply, the pole formed is north is here and south is here. During next half cycle, during negative half cycle, the poles of this field, the poles of space will change. Here south, here north. Again this cycle repeats. Here north, again south, north, south, again south, north. As you can see, the the magnetic flux produced is alternating. The magnetic flux produced in the rotor is alternate is formed is fluctuating in nature. Due to fluctuating of this flux, this single phase induction motor are not self-starting. This is the main reason that single phase induction motor are not self-starting. The single phase induction motor are not self-starting because the flux produced in the rotor is always fluctuating in nature. So that is the main reason that single phase induction motor are not self-starting. Okay. Now let us discuss about the slip speed. Slip is, as I discussed earlier, slip is nothing but the synchronous speed minus motor speed. And we also discussed earlier that this motor speed or the shaft speed is always less than the synchronous speed. Now, if we calculate its formula, if we calculate its formula in percentage, then percentage slip is given by ns minus n divided by ns. This is the first formula used in the numericals, and second formula used in the numerical is ns is equal to 120 f upon p. Okay, this is the formula that is used in the numerical part. And here you also, the slip has also the slip has no units. Why slip has no units? Because in the numerator part there is also the speed which has the unit rpm, and in the denominator part there is also the speed which is also unit has rpm. So rpm in the numerator part there is also the rpm, and then denominator part there is also the rpm. So there is no unit of slip. Slip has no units. Thank you.